Today we will talk about the first RPI Grand Marshal, and presenting his life is the 149th GM, Kyle Keraga.
The Grand Marshal is a long-standing RPI tradition that dates back to the aftermath of the Civil War. The first student to wear the top hat had a compelling story. He was intelligent, handsome, and a courageous patriot. He was also a brother of the Delta Phi fraternity. Albert Metcalf Harper was born in Pittsburgh on April 23, 1843, the son of a prominent financier and philanthropist. He came to RPI in 1861, only a few months after the opening shots of the Civil War. By late August of the following year, the war was going badly for the Union. Albert was home for the summer when President Lincoln issued a call for more troops to help win the war and save the country. After speaking to his parents and receiving their permission to fight, Albert enlisted in the Union Army, joining the newly formed 139th Regiment of the Pennsylvania Volunteer Infantry. Albert was soon selected to be an officer. In his position as adjutant, he was an organizational aide to the commander, responsible for clear, detailed, thorough communication as he relayed orders down the chain of command. And he was still just a teenager. Albert's journey through the war was a story of courage, as his position saw him take part in some of the most significant and bloody battles of the Civil War. Within a few days of its formation, the first duty given to the 139th Pennsylvania Volunteers was to bury the battlefield dead after the Second Battle of Bull Run. This was a brutal introduction to the war. The bloated and mutilated bodies had been lying in the Virginia summer heat for several days, and the 139th was forced to navigate a treacherous battlefield under a flag of truce. Over the next 10 months, Albert's battalion would be involved in some of the war's most storied battles, including Antietam, Fredericksburg, Chancellorsville, and Gettysburg. On May 5, 1864, during the Battle of the Wilderness, Albert Harper was severely wounded and thought to be dead. His survival is a testament to the surgeon's extraordinary skill and Albert's equally remarkable will to live. From the battle, he was taken to Fredericksburg, to Washington, and then back to Pittsburgh to recover. Albert's injuries would not keep him down. After a short stint at home, he returned to the front lines and continued to fight for the cause. Albert's courage and skill were recognized on August 17, 1864, when President Abraham Lincoln personally promoted him to the rank of Captain and Assistant Adjutant General of U.S. Volunteers. He was only 21 years old. In a letter to the Secretary of War, Brigadier General Howe described Captain Harper as one of the most promising officers of his rank, a man of intelligence and good judgment, of rare caliber and energy of character, and of well-tried and approved gallantry. After the end of the war, he received one final military honor. He was brevetted Major and Assistant Adjutant General of U.S. Volunteers for his faithful and meritorious services and gallantry during the war. And on April 22nd and 23rd, 1865, he was tapped to serve with the Honor Guard as President Lincoln lay in state in Independence Hall in Philadelphia. April 23rd was Albert's 22nd birthday. With the war over, Albert returned to RPI to finish his education as a decorated hero, and he joined the Delta Phi fraternity. At the time, the students had just voted to create a new position, the Grand Marshal, to lead the student body. The position was intended for a perennial student politician, but Albert's brothers in Delta Phi nominated him for the position, and with their support, he won the election in an overwhelming landslide. A new tradition was established, an honor befitting of Major Harper's stature and forever entwined with his legacy. After graduating with honors as a civil engineer, Albert Harper immersed himself in the study of analytical chemistry and undertook the management of a large oil refinery before joining a mercantile firm in Pittsburgh. He found great success in each of these varied endeavors, but tragically, his career was cut short. In November 1871, having never recovered from the wounds he suffered in the Battle of the Wilderness, Albert developed typhoid fever. On the evening of December 10th, He passed away at his parents' home in Pittsburgh. He was only 28 years old. By any standard, Albert Metcalf Harper was a remarkable young man who accepted and performed responsibilities far beyond his years. His name is engraved on Civil War memorials. A Grand Army post in Braddock, Pennsylvania, was named in his honor. He is remembered with pride by his fraternity, and he has left a lasting legacy in the history of our school. Only one student each year is elected to join the ranks of all the Grand Marshals who came before, and only a handful join our brotherhood, the Delta Phi fraternity. As the 149th Grand Marshal and a proud brother of Delta Phi, I was honored to follow in Albert's footsteps as the leader of the student body, and I am humbled to be associated with his legacy of brotherhood, resilience, and courage.